Welcome back, guys! Oh wow, I'm so excited to cover these next 3 CSS tutorials with you. It's so much fun. I mean, being a senior software engineer, like being able to manipulate things and design the websites that I'm working on and just have fun and enjoy doing it, it's great, it's great. And if you're learning this so you can become a developer, I hope you find joy in what we're doing here as well. The instant gratification of saying, hey, change this color, and hitting save, watching it appear instantly on the web, that's just cool stuff. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below. Let me know what you guys want to learn in the comment sections, and let's get into it. I'm excited. Sweet, guys, so today we're gonna go through really these next 3 sections: the how-to, comments, colors. I thought about looping in backgrounds as well, but the video starts to border about 15-20 minutes if I do that. So we're gonna cover that next time. But let's go through the 3 ways to insert CSS. We've already talked about the first way listed here, which is external CSS. And you can see here, it's where you link a style sheet that you name. And of course, that's what we're doing here in our index. We've got a link to a style sheet, and we call it index.css. Next, we have internal CSS. And that's where you create a styled tag inside of the head tag, and then you put your CSS there. So for example, we would do style, and then we would say we'll do background purple. We got to put the period there. There we are. And we'll call it back color blue. Right, and if we go here, we can see that the background color changes to blue. And then lastly, we have inline CSS, and that's where you define inline in the element a style. So rather than doing that, we're going to delete that there, delete the style tag. We're going to delete background purple, and we're going to do style, and we're going to do background color. And just so we can see it as a visible change, we'll do red. And then we'll go to our document. Now you can see the background color is red. So here's an interesting thing. CSS is called cascading style sheets. And what this means is that when you are building a website and you load it into the browser and CSS have a set of rules that they're going to follow. Okay, so the first, you can see here, all the styles in a page will cascade into a new virtual style sheet by the following rules, where number 1 has the highest priority. So first it'll look for those inline styles. Okay, and again, the inline style is what we just did. Second, it's going to look for an external or internal style sheets. And then the third thing is it's going to do the browser default. Now, each browser has their own default CSS styles to that specific one. So between Firefox, Google Chrome, Safari, Internet Explorer, insert other web browser here, they all have their own specific default parameters for styling HTML elements. But I'm going to show you something interesting. So as we just saw, okay, we're going to go back and we're going to do the style tag. We're going to fix that and add back in background purple. Right, and that's what it's called there. Awesome, let's fix that. Cool. So I'm going to type in background purple. Okay. And the background color is again going to be blue. And I'm going to save that. we're going to go back to our document, hit refresh, and we can see the background color is blue. Now, because we have the style tag inline, after we import the CSS file, our background purple from the CSS file gets overridden. Okay, so it's an order of importing in HTML, as when it gets loaded, it tends to read it from the top down. So we can see this if we were to actually take the link tag, cut it and insert it after the style tag. Go back to our document, hit refresh. The background's now purple. So just be aware of that. Again, you really want to use this linking an external style sheet as your main best practice. Having multiple ways to style an element gets really confusing, and especially as a team of developers working together, it's hard to keep track of where things are if you have multiple ways of styling things. So if you're going to import it, do not do inline styling and do not do an internal style sheet either. Now, I have worked at companies that have had both external style sheets and inline styling. Typically that happens because of inexperienced developers, or a company is just wanting the speed of the product to be developed, and maybe a combination of inexperienced developers where they just don't care. I would highly recommend, as a developer, care. First off, make sure you're doing things the best way, because it's only going to benefit you as you start to grow your career. All right, so let's just save that. We'll go back to W3 Schools. Now we're going to look at comments. In JavaScript, comments are a lot more popular and a lot more significant. With CSS, I don't see comments all that often, mainly because as you grow to be a more advanced mid to senior level developer, again, you should know how to style CSS elements and do advanced CSS, and it's a language that's just really easy to understand. So I don't see comments that often, but we'll go through how to insert them. So we go to our CSS sheet, okay? We're gonna write, this is a comment. If you look at your keyboard, the right shift key to the left of that is the question mark. If you hit Control question mark, you can see that it creates a /* at the front and a */ at the back. This is a comment, and this is the way to do it. When you are testing code, when you take that action and you control question mark on code, that's called commenting out code, okay? You might use this for debugging purposes, like, oh, I gotta see if this code changed that. There's multiple reasons why you would comment out code. Maybe you're just saving it for later, whatever. But if you wanna re-comment it, you hit Control question mark, and there it is. That's pretty much the sum of that page. Then we get to colors. So we've worked already with the color purple, right? The color blue, the color red. As you see in that drop-down tab with VS Code, there's a lot of different colors. That's a good start. But again, we're talking about becoming a great software engineer, a great front-end developer, and understanding advanced CSS is what's going to help you out. So we'll do one thing here. You can see here we got a CSS border color. We're going to obviously tackle borders later, so we're going to skip that. But here we are seeing CSS color values. Now, as a professional developer, I don't often see HSL being used in the workplace. I more commonly see RGB or the hex values being used. Okay, so we're going to go to our index.css, and we're going to change this background color of purple. So we're going to type in RGB, and then if you hit Shift and your 9 key and your 0 key, it'll give you those parentheses there. And we're going to type in 255, comma, space 0, comma, space 255. add a semicolon at the end, and we're going to hit save. Now we'll go back to our document, we'll hit refresh, and we can see now it's kind of got this purplish color to it. That's okay. That's the beauty of using RGB. And now if you were to hover over your cursor over RGB in VS Code, this pops up. And it's a really cool thing because you've got the color selector here where you can choose shades, right? You've got this bar here where you can choose the different colors. But then this middle bar here is your opacity, right? How see-through is the color that you're using. And if we do it, you can see that it now changes to RGBA, okay? The A is essentially how opacity, how much transparency, how much see-through will this color have. And it's on a scale of 1, which isn't displayed there, but you can see at 9.95 all the way down to 0.0, where it's all the way see-through. Okay, so let's do this again. We'll put it back to 255, 0, 255, and we're gonna add 0 at the end. We'll hit save, refresh our document. And because it's 0, the color is entirely see-through and it's not even gonna be displayed, okay? If we add a 0.5, we hit save, back to our document, hit refresh. You can see now it's kind of a lighter shade of this pinkish color, okay? That's the beauty of when you start like understanding the more advanced CSS, you can start manipulating things like this. And the color that we're using here doesn't just apply to background color. It can apply to font color, border color, outline color, you name it. It's a very dynamic and very cool way to start adding entertainment value to your website. Sweet. Well, I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. When you're learning advanced CSS, just things get more and more fun. We get to do cooler and cooler things, especially as this tutorial keeps moving forward. We're obviously gonna use it and apply it to the basic web template we already have in place, but join me next time. I'm super excited to be sharing this with you guys, and I hope you're having fun too. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in.